This is the new American media. Broadcasting to you, live from the Milky Way galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles, City of Angels, and the city of a shooting at LAX, unfortunately, today. My name is Brian Engelman. Welcome to Agree to Disagree, here on the TNAM radio network, part of the newamericanmedia.com's lineup of shows. Special thanks to Zach Barris, NBA scout, talking about the new NBA season and a little bit of Cleveland Browns action as well. Yeah, the whole LAX shooting, this is another thing. I hate seeing these shootings. You know, it's just, it just reminds you, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. You know, what's the alternative? Just ban guns? That just ain't gonna happen. You know, this is an evolving story, so we'll give you some of the details coming up, and we'll do that with Blake the Eccentric Walley, radio host, regular contributor here on the network. But he's been having some just really good coverage of the Obamacare debacle. By the way, did you see that story? Internal memos are showing that, what was it? Well, I just saw this. What was it? 6 people in the first week signed up for Obamacare? 6 people? I mean, really? Alright, but we're going to talk with all this stuff with Blake coming up here. And, you know, I'm just going to switch away from sports for a minute and just dig into all this stuff. Developing story. So, you know, I don't know how long we're going to spend on the LAX shooting. We'll just kind of give you some of the updates, if you will. Just the latest. And we'll just get Blake in the program right now to do so.
Hello.
Good morning, Blake. You're live on the air. How you doing, sir?
Excellent, Brian. How are you?
Well, you know, it was a kind of a surreal day for me. I drive past LAX every day.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of traffic, I suppose.
Well, one of the ways I go off the freeway, the 405, it's one of these stretches like in Wayne's World where they're sitting on the car by the airport and the planes are like right over their heads, if you remember that scene.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean the planes are flying right overhead on the 405, and you know everything was on lockdown as I was driving, and I mean it was weird. It was silent. It was eerie. It was creepy. And then going back into the city, you know, finally some of the planes were getting moving again and seeing it, and just, you know, it's just another shooting, Blake. I don't know. I don't know how much we want to talk about the LAX shooting, but you know, it's a developing story, and a lot of these we're not going to know all of the information. But here's what we have so far: LAX shooting suspect has been identified, and a TSA agent is dead.
As the mayor indicated, 9:20 this morning, an individual came into Terminal 3 of this airport, pulled a assault rifle out of a bag, and began to open fire in the terminal. He proceeded up into the screening area where TSA screeners are and continued shooting, and went past the screeners back into the airport itself. Personnel and officers from Airport Police, Los Angeles Airport Police, responded immediately to the calls. They tracked the individual through the airport and engaged him in gunfire in Terminal 3, and were able to successfully take him into custody. We had an officer-involved shooting that took place. We believe at this point that there was a lone shooter, that he acted, at least right now, was the only person that was armed in this incident. There's a tremendous amount of investigative work that will need to be done, and I will turn that over to the FBI in just a second.
At this time, the LAFD has treated 7 patients, transported 6 to area hospitals. We have approximately 100 firefighters committed to this.
So there's the basics as you have it, Blake. You know, and for me, I went right to Alex Jones on his Twitter feed to see what he was up to. You know, this is TSA. It's another shooting. I don't know. Let's just get your thoughts on the whole matter. I don't know how much you've dug into this story today, but it's just another shooting.
A little bit. Yeah, that's the problem, like you said. Even though these shootings are out with all the modern media and social media and everything, it seems to take a few days to get all the correct details because, yeah, they've changed the stories a lot. Because when I first started investigating the story, they thought it was like a former TSA agent, and then, of course, that what didn't appear to be the case, or whether there's multiple shooters or not. But, yeah, so it looks like it was a lone guy walked into the airport, and apparently I read somewhere that he was asking people, like, if they were TSA agents, and they would say no, and then he would just move on, and then he would, I guess, to go shoot some TSA people, but that was his intention, I guess, but only one of them was shot. I don't know. Very, very, very strange. So I guess I'll be looking to see. And I think Paul Joseph. Speaking of Infowars, Paul Joseph Watson tweeted out something about medication. We'll find out if this guy is on any kind of medication or something. I also saw that he might have tried to commit suicide recently. So. Yeah, we'll get the details out, but yeah, it looks like a lone gunman and not anything much more major than that. And hopefully, or I think only one person died, so that's that I know of. So it could have been far worse. So
yeah,
that's all I really have, Brian.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're saying. The suspect, Paul Anthony Ciancia, Ciancia of Los Angeles. They were reporting he was from New Jersey, but this is saying from Los Angeles, and he was shot in the face, which has probably got to hurt. Hopefully I don't find out, and you as well, Blake. But, suspect had survived the shooting, but his condition was not immediately known. Yeah. So the dead TSA officer was a behavior detection officer. This is all coming off USAtoday.com. It's one of the most recent articles just from 3 minutes ago, so I'm just kind of doing that one. But, you know, once again, it's a, air quote, assault rifle out of a bag. So, I mean, do you see this, Blake, there's going to be another gun grab push? Well, we saw what happened at LAX. We obviously have to get rid of the guns. Do you see it on the way?
Well, of course, yeah, the gun people are, of course, using that as another excuse. Of course, Piers Morgan, the usual suspects out on Twitter, blabbing about how, here's another reason why we got to ban all guns. So, only the law enforcement, Homeland Security, and TSA will be armed, and everybody else will not. But, it's just, more silliness, so not going to happen, I wouldn't think. But fortunately, it wasn't a mass shooting or anything. One person, and it is a little suspicious though. If he's so heavily armed and so intent to kill TSA people, I don't know. I don't know the exact story, but fortunately, he only. I don't want to say it's not fortunate that anyone died, but it certainly could have been far, far worse in a situation like that. So.
Yeah, it absolutely could have. It's just a sad state of affairs when anytime stuff like this happens, it's instantly, well, are they coming after my guns now? Well, what was this guy? What was his deal? Was he an anti-TSA, liberty-minded person? Are they going to try to paint the whole? I have no idea, Blake. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, usually they do. I'm sure they would love to find out that he's a card-carrying member of the Tea Party who listens to Alex Jones, and they can, use that to, demonize the alternative media and anybody else. So any of their political enemies. So that's just par for the course.
Well, let's do that. Let's imagine in a world that it comes out that this guy had his Alex Jones subscription. He was not a fan of the TSA, and maybe he voted for Ron Paul or something, or he had a copy of the Constitution on him, or he I don't know what else.
Yeah, that would be a dream, but who knows? I mean, for them, that would be a dream, and we'd probably be hearing all about it by now. So
would we be? Would you and I be detained immediately under the National Defense Authorization Act, Section 1021, 1022? That we could be detained indefinitely without charge, without trial. Yeah, you know, when I was thinking about it, Blake, I got a question of the day for you. Let me do this. By the way, because I unless you have any final comments on this, this is pretty much where I'm going to leave this story. I just wanted to report what the latest was. Are you good on this one?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
All right. Well, if you're good, I think what we should do is I got a question of the day, and it's going to kind of blend Halloween together with horror films, and basically here I'll tease the question of the day. And if anyone's listening to this live, you can send a tweet at American_media_, or you can comment when we post this up on YouTube or something. Put comments in there. But, you know, it got me thinking about it. Pre-crime. And it got me thinking with Halloween horror films. Okay, now I'm gonna do a regular girl. I'm gonna blend two subjects and put it together, Blake. Here, check.
And get sidetracked a few times.
Hey, check this out. No, but I was thinking about the Halloween films. By the way, for our listeners, Regular Girl is somebody that regularly calls Blake's program. It's called Eccentric Perspective. It's on every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday from noon to 1:30 p.m. Pacific on the FreedomizerRadio.com network. You can also sign up for the podcast by searching Eccentric Perspective and follow Blake on Twitter at Eccentric99. But anyway...
Yeah, she's always entertaining. We never know what direction she's going to take us in.
Oh, it's always a wild card. Flip it. I have no idea what's coming. No idea. But yeah, so I was thinking, obviously, with Halloween yesterday, and I was listening to some stuff about horror movies, and you know, watching a program about that. But to me, I don't really like the slash and guts and blood and gore and torture and horrible. Like, I don't like horror movies. To me, the horror movies are the dystopian nightmare future movies. Those are the things to me that are my horror films. You know, and
yeah, like The Road would be like the ultimate horror movie. Yeah, I gotcha. And I don't really care for any of those. They use their creativity to just create very elaborate ways for people to die. Yeah, no, I understood back in the day why they were kind of funny, but now they just look trashy and awful, and it's just dehumanizing. Yeah, I'm not I can sit through them, but definitely it's not anything that I try to watch by any means.
Well, let's do this. Let's come back on the other side, and think of a favorite dystopian nightmare movie or TV show. That's what I want the question of the day to be. I'm just gonna split that into like in post production here. We'll just put this into like a little tiny 3-minute segment, and we'll ask people to leave their comments. So you're listening to Blake the Eccentric Walley, our guest once again here on Agree to Disagree here at the TNAM Radio Network, here at the NewAmericanMedia.com. I'm your host, Brian Engelman. We'll be right back on the other side. I appreciate y'all listening, and we're going to talk about this for just a second on the other side. So here we go.
You are listening to the New American Media.